Okay, good morning, everyone. I wanted to call the Health and Human Development Committee to order. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Alderman Bowman,
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus, Alderwoman Schweitzer,
Present.
Alderwoman Sanier, Chair Boyd,
Present.
Alderwoman Tyus, Alderwoman Sanier. We have 3 present.
Thank you so much. We'll skip to approval of minutes because we do not have a quorum. And so we don't have any board bills to review or resolutions. So our discussion today is item number 1. And so it is a representative from iRise Education. And so she's here to give us a presentation on what her organization does and who at this time she is servicing. So I need to swear her in, Madam Clerk.
Yes,
Okay. So Ms. Boland, do you solemnly swear to tell the truth and whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All righty. So you may begin.
Thank you
can
so
I
much.
ask one question? I just wanted to make sure, Chair Boyd, is it Bolin or Bolanle?
It's Bolanle.
Bolanle, Ambonaje?
That's it. Bolanle Ambonise with U and I Rise, Adult Education and Training. So it's a letter U and then the ampersand for the and. U and I Rise.
Okay, because it just said I rise on here. Okay, thank you. And Aura, thank you so much for pronouncing her name correctly, because I was not going to do that one.
Well, it looks like bowling on the screen because
Right.
the rest of the name isn't missing. So that's completely understandable. And I was just going to say that. So,
Okay.
good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for taking your time to hear about what we do here at UNI Rise. We adult education and training. We skyrocket Black student success by getting adults on the same page. Our trainings are adult training, so we hold parent workshops and school staff training. Our work is at the intersection of parenting and schooling. And the reason why I don't say education here is because all of it is education, because it begins at home and it continues out into the larger society. So all of that, home and schooling is part of education, and there are other parts as well. But we focus on that intersection of parenting and schooling. And the reason I asked to come to speak with you today is because we're in the process of making a case for society to invest in parenting education as a way to improve social determinants of health, just the general environment of our community, by equipping parents with information and tools that we need just to be effective parents, period. This society lacks that process that equips its citizens just on the general and as a general part of life and living. And because we lack that process, we're pretty much leaving, it's pretty much up to us to do either what our parents did or do opposite from what our parents did, depending on how we feel about what our parents did, how our parents raised us. And because there are such disparities in the different conditions, the different factors that make up social determinants of health, the environment, the neighborhood that you live in, what you understand about nutrition, what you understand about raising children, just period, what you understand about your own self and the example that you set. There's such varied understandings of that among adults, and that's one of the reasons why we're having the kinds of conditions that we're seeing today. So we want to make a case for society to invest in parenting education to improve social determinants of health, and also to reduce the number of adverse childhood experiences, things like child abuse, child neglect, all of the different abuses of children, sexual, emotional, and physical, that often begin at home with parents. And it's again because one of the major factors is because the society doesn't have a process that equips its people to be effective parents. And then to go further, it does not have a process to equip parents with the information and tools that we need to provide home environments that support our children's academic success. And so that's one of the reasons we're seeing the failure rate across the United States, because what's happening in St. Louis with more than half of Black children failing is a problem across the nation. And so we're basically trumpeting this information in an effort to get society to invest in parenting education. We were able, at UNI Rise, we have been talking about this for quite a while. And so we were able to get grant funding to test out our idea or test out our solution to this problem. And that solution involves awarding stipends to parents for completing a parenting workshop. And our workshop is called Tapping Our Parental Power. That's the name of our particular parenting education curriculum. And so that is the curriculum that we presented during the workshop, where parents complete exercises and have discussions that pull from them what they want to see happening in their homes. And then comparing it to what actually is happening in their homes. And when parents take the time to do that, when we provide a date, time, and place for parents to be able to do that, it does a few things. It helps parents to become more aware of themselves, that, oh, I really am teaching my children with everything I say and everything I do. And, oh, I can see why I'm having the kinds of well, I can see why the things that are happening in my home are happening, and I can see the role that I played in it. And once parents see that, then parents can they begin to consciously then make another plan. And so Tapping Our Parental Power workshops help parents to do that. It helps parents to approach parenting in a more proactive and thoughtful manner. And when parents complete it, they say, oh, parents need this. I wish I had this a long time ago. My own mother said that when I presented her the curriculum. She was like, man, I wish I had this when I was raising y'all, that kind of thing. So that lets me know. But we've been facilitating workshops since 2007. And that has been the feedback over 90, trying to make sure I got that figure right, 96% of parents say that all parents need this, and that they know parents who would benefit from the workshop. And so basically the purpose of the stipend is to get parents' attention, because parenting is not really, it's not really a sexy subject. It's not something that parents, flock to. But they do acknowledge that, wow, you know what, if I had time, I would take that workshop. If I had, and I know a lot of people who need this, but they don't make it a priority. But what the stipend does is it gets parents' attention, and it causes parents to go ahead and prioritize completing it. And so that's, the stipend functions exactly as it's designed to do. And once parents enroll and they complete the workshop, which is what they have to do in order to qualify for the stipend, they have to complete it, then they leave different people. And so I asked to be able to come and present to the committee and ask for guidance on how we can, who do we need to speak with, to who else do we need to speak with, or what is our process, or what are our natural next steps to be able to make that case for society. And I mean, government, to be able to begin investing in parenting education, to because that has an impact on community violence, you know, and it has an impact on crime. And so I'm here for guidance. Or suggestions.
So we can ask the committee if anybody had any questions. So Alderman Bomber, do you have any questions for her or comments?
No questions or comments. It sounds like very, very validating work that you're doing and a necessary thing. I really don't have any input for you. I apologize for that, but please continue to do what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming here and talking to us about what you're trying to do. You know, it sounds like some of the programs that you run could qualify for, you know, state or local or federal funding. So, you know, if you're looking online and looking in the city, the CDA, Community Development Administration, it's administration, right? Am I getting the A right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, it could be some other word.
No, it's
Community Development Administration is where I'd start in the city of St. Louis in terms of different funding programs that exist. You know, I know that we're talking a lot about early childhood education, and we think about, you know, long-term investment of RAMS funding. So just stay tuned on those kind of pieces of information and what sorts of programs have access to funds. But if I had a few minutes, I could probably put together a few different places for you to look. So I will make a note to do that and try to grab your email address from Madam Chairwoman or from the clerk, or put it in the chat if you'd like. And I wish you luck on your endeavors. I appreciate what you're doing. I think, you know, one of the things that I feel like happens a lot, and maybe you can speak to in the city of St. Louis, is, you know, I talk to parents in my neighborhood about what they're going to do when they send their kids to school. And a lot of the parents I talk to say, you know, they have concerns about what school they're going to send their kid to and how the public school system works. So is that part of your workshop where you help parents learn kind of the systems of education in the city or in the county or wherever you do work?
I appreciate that question. We don't focus it on navigating the system necessarily more than we focus on preparing our children to succeed in school. So one of the reasons we're seeing the problems with failure has to do with the fact that we're, as parents, part of the reason is because we parents are not preparing our children with the attitude and habits that allow our children to succeed in school. So us not preparing our children at school, meeting with the structure of school, that's part of the reason why we're having those particular challenges. And so part of what we do in the workshop is a little pullout. It's called Healthy School Home Connection. And there we talk about the things that basically the two self-control habits that any child needs to do well in school and how to develop them at home.
Well, thank you for coming and presenting today. I'll make sure to get some resources over to you, and as soon as I have your email address. I appreciate you coming. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Alderwoman Saulnier.
Thank you. I would just echo what my colleagues have said. Thank you for coming and being here this morning and speaking to us. I connected with and am in strong support of a lot of the things you discussed. I think as far as giving advice, it's, you know, a lot of what you talked about with children reminds me most directly of the school board. So I'm not sure if you've had any conversation with the school district, who is over every public school in the city and really can have a bit more of an active role with the children in our city than necessarily the Board of Aldermen, because they're their own independent political body. So I think that might be an excellent place to go and to have conversations and to see what you could do. But you know, there are several other organizations in the city. I don't know if you've connected with the Deaconess Foundation, and just, you know, several organizations, but I want to be careful because I know, you know, we are a public body right now in our official role, so I don't want to like be too specific, but I think there are many places that you could go to, you know, that can help you with grant writing, that could point you to resources that are available and that work with children on a daily basis and share some of the vision and ideas that you've shared here.
Thank you very much, Alderwoman Sonia.
Okay, the question I have, are you in any entity, because I'm kind of with Alderwoman Sonia, are you in any schools or, you know, are you anywhere where your programs are running?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that question. We have a long-standing relationship with Bertha Knox Gilkey Pomoja Preparatory Academy at Cole. They have a long name. Pomoja at St. Louis Public Schools. I used to be the family and community specialist there. I took that position to learn how to get parents, to figure out how to get parents out to parent meetings and that kind of thing. And so during my time there, that was how Healthy School Home Connection actually started, because I created it to be a parent orientation for parents who were enrolling their child at that particular school. And so it has sent, because that school has an African-centered focus and parents needed to know that. So they were enrolling their children, not knowing what they were enrolling into. And so that spoke to, you know, even though it's a school that's becoming an African-centered school, the same issue exists when a parent enrolls their child in the school. They don't necessarily know what they're enrolling into. And that's one of the reasons we have the conflicts in schools, because parents are not aware of what it means to enroll in a school, that, you know, what and the responsibilities therein. So yes, ma'am, we are at Pomoja, and our Healthy School Home Connection curriculum is part of their enrollment process. And we are a vendor with St. Louis Public Schools, and we have had a contract with St. Louis Public Schools to work with other schools, but that contract ended a few years ago, and now because of the new leadership in the district, now I have to recreate that relationship all over again, and I'm in the process of doing that. And we are in the process of marketing to the neighboring school districts and even out of state as well.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was wondering.
Yes, ma'am.
Is nobody else has any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much for your presentation. It was very informative, and I apologize because I was all over the place. It's elections and everything coming up, so I'm trying to do 10 things at one time, but I did hear what you were talking about in the service that you are bringing. And I think it's critical. I think people don't understand when people become parents, they don't have a book that comes with them. And so now the parents that we have now are children raising children. So they more so need direction and training to kind of understand what the expectations of a parent is and how do you have a relationship with your child. Not to be your friend, but to be the parent. And so that's an education that parents are in desperate need of. So on that note, I don't have anything else. I'm going to swing back through to the committee so we can vote on the minutes from September the 26th, since we have a quorum. So could I get a motion?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call.
Alderman Vollmer,
aye.
Alderwoman Tyus, Alderwoman Switzer,
Aye.
Alderwoman Sanye,
Aye.
Chair Boy,
Aye.
Alderwoman Tyus. 4 aye votes.
Thank you so much. And so at this time, I don't have any, do we have any written testimony on this?
We have none.
Okay. The excuse alderperson is Alderwoman Tyus. And so I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Previous roll.
Thank you all so much.